Good morning, everyone. It's Natalie, and welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. I hope everyone it's Tuesday, but I didn't get on, I didn't do any videos yesterday, which was Monday, because I just enjoyed um, my holiday on Sunday, and I wanted to recover. So I was able to sleep late, and then I did come out in the garden and I did a few garden chores. But I just wanted to take a break and relax. Matter of fact, this entire week, this is spring break for my son Joshua. So I'm going to be taking a spring break along with him. But if there's anything that I see in the garden that I want to share, I will share it. Okay. So today, I wanted to hop on because I will be harvesting blueberries. So let's walk over here where my Patriot blueberry bushes are. Okay. Right over here. I'll remove the little cover just for this reason. And then I'm going to place it back on there. I don't want the birds to get to my blueberries, but there are ripe blueberries on here. I don't think there's any on the other plant. Let's see. No, but on this one, that's the blueberry plant that I'll be harvesting from. So I'm going to put the camera down and get started. Okay, you guys? All right, you guys. Like I said, this is my first time harvesting blueberries and successfully growing them. So I've been eyeballing this one for a while. Let's look, came right off. That's one of the things I learned, that when they're ripe and ready, they will come right off. Okay. My first blueberry, y'all. Patriot. Okay. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, that one fell. But I covered them because I wanted to get to them before the birds did. Oh, I hear the birds' wings fluttering over there. I think I'm tempting the birds, but that's okay. As soon as I'm done, I'm placing my little plant right back under this netting. The bush is going right back under this netting, okay? All right, let's see. I'm pleased, okay? For a first time successfully growing berries, I am pleased. Oh, come here. Okay, let's see here. The rest of them, they're going to stay. All right. Okay, I don't think I see maybe two over on that plant. They're really small, but that's okay. Oh, I almost missed one. Look at that. That's a nice size one, too. Pretty good, you guys. What do you think? For a first time harvest? I don't know about this one. The little back of it is still green, so I'm going to give that one a little more time. But the rest of them, pretty good, huh? Let's see. Take them out of the pan so you can see them. Not bad, right? Okay, like I said, I'm going to go over and get the two small ones over on that plant, that bush over there. Okay, so I'm going to switch over there to that side. All right, guys. On that plant, I just got these two little berries, and they're very tiny, but that's okay. And I tell you what, I always noticed that this was the healthier bush. This one is the healthiest one. It's the largest. And this one always seems like it's been struggling a little bit. So I'm going to start giving this a little more TLC. This one over here. Um, but I've been doing my research and I'll share with you the things that I learned about caring for berries. So it may be time for this one to have to be fertilized. And this one is doing well, but it's probably time for this one to be fertilized too, to be fed. So I'm going to go ahead and cover these up. I'll let you take a little closer look at this plant, this bush over here. Okay, so you saw that one. But this one over here, it's much smaller. Okay, spindly too. You can see the difference. Look at the leaves on this one. Nice and green. Okay, and it was loaded with berries. Now I chose these two Patriot blueberry plants or bushes because they were the healthiest that I, threw from the ones that was on the shelf, and I chose these, and they were loaded with berries. Okay, so I knew that I had a head start. I hope you can see. All right, guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cover them back up so the birds won't get to them. All right, you guys. I just wanted to share that with you. My very first berry harvest. Not bad, huh? You see that? Look, this is the largest one. You see that? I am too excited. But I did want to share a few other things with you. What's going on with the garden? Um, there's been some changes, and there's some things that I planted out that that are new. Uh, not the right now you know about the tomatoes, you know about the bell peppers and all the other stuff that's going on. But I planted a few new things, and I'm going to share that with you. So I wanted to take it easy this week. My son is home from school on spring break, so he's going to be home all week long. So that means it's going to be a lot of, instead of garden maintenance, it's going to be a lot of Josh maintenance. Okay. So I'll spend a lot of time with him. And he was out here with me yesterday. I did do a few things out here yesterday, and he was with me. He likes being out here. So, but normally I'm used to him spending some time at school and then time home. But yesterday was all day Josh. He had a doctor's appointment. So I got out here early this morning, that morning and Monday morning, and I did my little garden maintenance, and I dropped seeds for certain things I'm going to show you, and also planted some transplants, and I'm going to share all of that with you. I've been trying to do a lot more companion planting as I learn what goes together, what I'm able to plant together. Um, so I'm just going to show you real quick. Let's go to the garden, you guys. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to start the tour right here at the edge of this raised bed. That's my L-shaped raised bed by Vajiga. Okay. Oh, and as always, if you're interested in buying a raised bed by Vajiga, I always leave the link uh, in the description, okay, with a 10% off discount code. If you use Joy Garden, whatever sale that's going on at this point with Vajiga, plus an additional 10% off with the discount code Joy Garden. I always forget to mention that. I'll be so excited about what's going on in my garden. But if you're interested in getting one of these beautiful raised beds, like these two L-shaped raised beds over here that I have, you can use that link in the description to go and check them out with Vajiga and use that discount code. Okay, so I showed you my sweet potatoes. Okay, down there. I'm going to repot them. I'm going to place them in a grow bag. I was supposed to be growing slips, and it didn't work out the usual way. But I'm going to try just growing them straight from the sweet potato that's in there. And I'm going to remove them from this container and place it in a grow bag. Let's just try it out. It'll be an experiment, okay? All right. And next to it is celery, more celery. Okay, there's 3 plants in there that I grew from seed. The sugar and snap peas. Tell you what happened with them. If you can remember, there were 3 plants, right? Not anymore because my son ripped one out of the raised bed. I have a son, Joshua. He does have autism. And I let him stay out here with me. He loves being in the garden. And normally he's like pulling grass and pulling weeds. But this time we sat him a little too close to this raised bed and he tore that sugar and snap pea plant up. And good thing I caught him when I did because he was probably heading towards the carrots because that's Danvers carrots that's right next to it. He probably would have ripped that apart too, but that's okay. I took that spot and I placed a little marigold there to help repel some pests or deter some pests. Okay, but like I said, right next to it, Danvers carrots, and they're growing well. Those Brussels sprout plants over there, not growing as fast as I would like them to. They are younger than the other plants that are over there, um, but I just expected a little more growth. Okay, and I'm gonna go this way real quick. Like that countryside spinach is in there, and I'm pretty much done with the countryside spinach. So I'm gonna uproot that spinach and maybe place something else in that spot. Over here, this is more zucchini. This is actually called zucchini squash. And I think I know I have too many plants crowded up in here. And I said I was going to weed one or two of them out of there. And I will. But right now they're growing healthy, okay? So I'm going to leave them in there and leave them be for now. But that spinach, I think I'm done with my spinach. So I'm going to uproot those plants. We'll do one last harvest. Okay. Now here's a big surprise. Remember those 2 large um, spineless beauty zucchini plants that I had? They were right here in this spot. Well, Miss Natalie overwatered them and they began to just totally disintegrate. I was overwatering them. So I just uprooted them. I went ahead and I uprooted them. I composted the leaves, the entire plant itself, because it literally was disintegrating. I just overwatered that poor little plant, and I'm going to tell you why. I try to keep the soil continuously moist for my mustards and for my carrots, right? And in the process, the zucchini was being overwatered. And so that's what happened. So in its place, I placed Blue Lake bush beans. I found transplants because I didn't drop seeds for those um, this season because I was so busy trying to get my red kidney beans to get started. So I kind of neglected doing my peas and my bush beans. So I was able to find transplants at Clegg's Nursery. So I got 4 of them. So those are my Blue Lake bush beans. Next to it, I have chocolate mint. That's to repel some insects. I have more chocolate mint that I'm going to place in the just certain areas. My mustard, my Florida broadleaf mustards are still doing well. Nice. Okay, over here I had those collards. Remember, right at the edge of the bed, they had been in there since December. I planted those in December, and I'd say mid-December. Uh, so they had begun to bolt and to set seed. So I was going to remove them anyway, but I did it sooner than later because I have something else I want to place in this spot. Okay, so I'll be filming that in the following days. Over here is my cabbage. This is Bonnie's best cabbage. Growing well. I companion planted with some onion. Excuse me. Next to it is my green magic broccoli. Look how well they're growing. Nice, and more onions in between there. Okay. Over here, more mustard greens at the edge of this bed. And next to it is my red kidney beans. Look how well they're growing. Nice. Look, even that little tiny plant. I told you she'd catch up, and she did. Okay, so right here is 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 7. Yeah, 7 plants right here. And next to it, I did a little companion planting. I have dill. Hopefully, that dill is supposed to help to deter some insects. So I have dill placed next to that. My Brussels sprouts. Okay. Look, my first year growing Brussels sprouts, so I consider it a success. Okay. I kept them healthy and strong, and I will learn. This is a learning experience. When I grow something for the first time, it's a learning experience, and then I'll take that, what I learned from that experience, and when I try again, I'll have better success. Okay, over here, my watermelon, sugar baby watermelon, still growing strong in this 15-gallon grow bag. Next to it, mortgage lifter, an indeterminate tomato bush, healthy. I've been trying to prune, just remove the bottom leaves. Not really pruning right now, I'm just letting it grow and do its thing. And I'm removing the bottom leaves off of that. And I need to quickly go ahead and stake it before it gets any larger. Right here is a determinate celebrity tomato plant here. As you can see, it's loaded with fruit. Now, as we know with determinates, they're going to grow, produce all their fruit at one time, and then pretty soon this plant's going to die out. That's just the life cycle of a determinate tomato plant. They do not live long. Once it's produced its fruit, then you'll begin to see the leaves begin to turn brown and wither, and it's going to die out. But all the fruit that it's going to produce is pretty much showing up right now. Okay, and it's loaded. I'm pretty happy. It's most people, they like to grow determinates because they can go ahead and get their tomatoes and be done with that plant. Then they can start again. Okay, let's see here. I am kind of concerned about this tomato plant. This is a purple Cherokee, or Cherokee purple. Sorry, and I was able to harvest a few of the tomatoes off, but at least two of them. But I have these tomatoes over here in a bunch, and they haven't turned colors yet. I like to harvest them at first blush, and they are not blushing, and they're getting so large. This is my first time growing Cherokee purple. I'm concerned about the leaf curl. So look, if you guys know anything about Cherokee purple and can give me some information about this particular plant, um, it's an indeterminate. So I had been practicing on my pruning of the suckers and all of that. I see some new growth there and there. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't panic and just let it continue. Nature continue to take its course. Okay, but I was just concerned, especially about the leaf curl. I don't think it's any type of disease. I'm not sure if it's from underwatering or overwatering, but the plant is still alive and it looks very healthy in a sense. I was just kind of worried about it, but hey, time and patience, Natalie. More determinate tomatoes right next to it. Celebrity and Better Bush. Okay, and they're growing well. Over here is Summer Last. Summer Last, like a patio tomato plant, and it is loaded with fruit. I'm ready for them to start turning red or to start blushing, but they're not. At one point, I had a little problem with blossom end rot, but I was able to handle that. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what I learned about blossom end rot. It is a calcium deficiency, but in this case, I was actually applying CalMag to my tomato plants. I learned to do that to start using the calcium magnesium solution when I water them when you start seeing the blossoms. So I was using the calcium and magnesium, the CalMag. But here's the thing, inconsistent watering also triggers blossom end rot. The plant needs to be watered consistently because that's how the roots uptake the calcium, magnesium, and all of those nutrients that you are feeding the plant. It has to be, the roots have to be able to uptake those nutrients by consistent watering. So it's not just a nutrient deficiency, it also has to do with the watering cycle and how often you water and how consistently. So I learned that. Okay. That's with your peppers too. But I haven't had any problems yet because I don't have any peppers just yet. They're still growing. I wanted them to get larger before they start trying to produce fruit. Look, you can see the tomatoes on this one. Can you see that? Okay. Very quickly, just run through all the peppers just so you can take a look at them. That's the pepper patch, you guys. This is just different colors. We have green, we have yellow, we have red, and we also have a few banana peppers and also the purple beauty. Okay, let's move on. More tomatoes and peppers. That's that candy cane one right there. It's going to be a multicolored pepper. Candy cane chocolate covered cherry is what it's called. More tomatoes. Look, my corn. Peaches and cream is what I'm growing. Peaches and cream, early golden bantam, and silver and gold. Those are the varieties that I'm growing over here. And then I have, um, I forgot the other, Silverton, I believe. No. Stowell. Stowell Evergreen. Stowell Evergreen is over there near the cucumbers. But this one has actually formed its tassels, the pollen. And I've been coming out here and hand pollinating. See the silks? You basically, nature will do it also. When the wind blows, those little tassels release the pollen and it drops down on the silks down there. But just to assure that everything's being pollinated, I do it myself. I will actually clip off one of those tassels and take the tassel and shake it over the silks to make sure that it's completely pollinated. Okay, and you do that as soon as you see the silks and tassels forming, you can begin to hand pollinate. Okay, I don't see any tassels and silks on these just yet. Okay, now all throughout here we have lots more tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, chocolate sprinkles, and also large cherry tomatoes. That's a chocolate sprinkle right there. More peppers. That's a banana, sweet banana pepper. And I think this is, let's see, that is a purple beauty. And I think the other one may be the a yellow variety. Over there, those are my blueberries. You saw me just harvest from them. I covered them right back up. The birds go after ripe blueberries, so that's why I felt necessary to go ahead and protect them. But I don't want them disturbed at all. Now I didn't cover these two. These are pink lemonade, and they haven't started to blossom yet. I'd seen a few little blossoms, but they're gone. They had started to blossom a little bit, but I think they're still healthy. Look, I just fed my citrus plants. Those are two Louisiana sweet orange and a improved Meyer lemon. And most people say to fertilize them or feed them once or twice a year. But I learned from a gentleman that you need to fertilize them more often than that. And I did that just the other day. I came out here, I removed that mulch, I used the citrus tone by Spoma, and I scratched it into the soil underneath there. And then I covered it back with the mulch, and then I watered it in real good. Okay, so they have been fed. All right, let's see. I still have my potatoes here. Those these potatoes are beginning to die out. Okay, and I did heal up on both of these potatoes. Red Norland, I want to say it's Yukon Gold and Red Norland, and these two, these were the first potatoes I planted. So they're dying out. That must mean it's coming near time to harvest, but it's not time yet. We got a ways to go. Okay, my parsley. Look, one of the plants kind of died out, but as you can see, there's still life there. And this one is still nice and healthy. Okay, I need to harvest some parsley. My strawberries up. Let me show you something that happened with the strawberries, you guys. Do you see that? That's a petunia. That is a full petunia plant that showed up in my strawberries. And I'm gonna leave it there because they should attract beneficial insects, right? Okay, so I'm gonna let it stay there. I have no idea where that came from. Either that or I use, you know how I use old soil or used soil, and the soil I use obviously is soil that I grew petunias in before. And ta-ta! Okay, I've been meaning to show you guys that. Is that not hilarious? And then there's plenty of strawberries on here. Wow, look at that! You see my strawberries in there? They've been growing so nicely. I'm very happy about that. Swiss chard. I'm gonna let it continue as long as it grows. I'm gonna let it continue to grow. That's the only Swiss chard I have left. That's called Bright Lights. I love the color of it. And then I have more potatoes, Silverton russet, and more red Norland, and what's that? Oh, Kennebec. Okay, right here, my cucumbers. I'm looking at some of those leaves, and I'm not happy with some of the leaves. But I have more cucumbers. I've already had a cucumber harvest, but more cucumbers are coming. There's one right there. Okay, and in there. I hear bees behind me, so I need to get out the way. But the leaves look pretty healthy. I need to do another pruning of this plant. That's the Dasher 2s. The Dasher 2s have been doing really well. This is the Stowell evergreen corn. Doing pretty well. Okay. And these are my straight 8 cucumbers. I harvested from them too. Weird shaped. Okay. I've grown straight 8 before and did very well. But I always have success with the Dasher. The Dasher 2s, nice, large cucumbers. But I'm not sure if it's because I have 4 plants in one grow bag. It just seems like they may be struggling a bit. And the in this grow bag, I only have 3. Okay, definitely need to prune these and begin to. I've been trying to get them to grow up the trellis, kind of train them. So I need to do a little more work with these. But I think they're going to be okay. Okay, right behind me, very quickly. More dill with more red kidney beans. Okay, and next to it, those are the other Blue Lake bush beans. Remember, I told you I had 4 plants? The other 2 plants are in this green raised bed. And I have the dill in there also. Oh, I didn't know if I didn't. I'm sorry. I'll go back over to my tomato plant to show you that I have thyme growing in there. These are Beauregard sweet potatoes. Okay. I have 3 plants in there. Let's see how well they grow. That's a 20-gallon grow bag. I am growing thyme. Thyme is supposed to be able to repel uh, hornworms, the tomato hornworm. So that's why I have thyme in there, and with the marigolds, especially on that Cherokee purple. So I'm going to be placing thyme strategically in certain areas too. But those marigolds are looking real good. I need to deadhead that one. I thought I did yesterday, but you have to do that consistently, and that encourages the plant to keep growing and forming blossoms. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think I covered this area completely. We've looked at everything. Oh, the collards. I'm sorry, the collards and the onions and garlic over there, pretty much the same. I don't know how well I'm going to grow onions this year, but I'm still trying. They're still in there growing, and the garlic over there. And these collards, they're playing out. So I'm going to remove these plants pretty soon. I'm going to keep the one that's bolted over there, and so I can harvest the seeds. But these are also Georgia collards, and you know that you guys, you've seen me harvest from these plants many times. So they have served me well. Okay, let's turn around without doing shaky cam. And we're going to go over to where the okra is. All right. I had to spray these okra. I saw a lot of fungus gnats. So I had to spray these okra plants. Um, I use Maggie's Farm. You know, I like my Maggie's Farm. And also, I came back and I used my, couple of days later, I used peroxide and water solution. That helps too with the fungus gnats. But they're growing pretty well. Those are Clemson spineless. That's the largest one right there. I've grown those before, along with Louisiana green velvet, but I decided to switch up this year and try jambalaya. So this is pretty small, and that's why I definitely use the peroxide and water solution on this one, because this one is the runt of the bunch, and the leaves looked a little unhealthy. So I use that peroxide water because it adds oxygen. It gives oxygen to the plant. Peroxide has it's basically water with the additional oxygen molecule. So it's safe to use in the garden. You just dilute it. You use whatever ratio you need. There's different ratios for whatever you're using it for. If I can find that little chart that I use, I'll place that on the screen so you guys can see that how you mix your peroxide with water in the different ratios that you would use for whatever reason that you're using it for. Okay, that's also jambalaya okra. These plants look much healthier, and I was at first concerned about this plant more than that one, but now that one seems to be thriving, and this one seems to be struggling a little bit. Okay, well there they are, you guys. Let's back up and go right over to the melons that I have over in this corner. This is another raised bed that I'm so proud of. This is also by Vajika. Okay, and I got the trellis to go with it. Beautiful color. That one's called night blue. Okay, if you're interested, I always post that Vajiga website. I'll post the link in the description portion of the video. And I also have posted my 10% off discount code, Joy Garden. You use that and get an additional 10% off. But don't know what type of watermelon it is. That's why it's hanging out by itself in a grow bag, because I'm not sure what it is. I lost the tag. Okay. Over here is my cantaloupe. No, not cantaloupe. These are honeydew. Honeydew right there. In front, that is a black diamond watermelon. But that's the honeydew back there. Trying to train it to go up the trellis there. I have a few marigolds planted in there too. That little black diamond, it's still there and it still looks healthy, but it is slow going. I put 3 of the black diamond plants right up front. And that is my cantaloupe. That is ambrosia. They say ambrosia is the best to grow. It's easy to grow and it's disease resistant. So I was happy about that. Okay, because initially I was trying to grow Hale's Best or Jumbo Best cantaloupe, and I had started them from seed during the last part of winter, early January. I had dropped seeds for that. It was growing seedlings, and then a frost came and took them out. Okay, so I had to buy transplants. But the honeydew, those are from seed, and I'm so proud because look how healthy and strong they are. I uh, I planted those from seed. I made seedlings for that watermelon plant too. But these black diamond, I actually bought those transplants from Clegg's nursery. Okay, but everything's growing pretty well. Okay, one of these days I'm gonna have to come out and get a closer look because I see some little blossoms. I don't know if they're male or female, but I don't want to make a long video right now, so I'm going to just go ahead and close out, you guys. Okay, you guys, this is the last things I want to share with you before I sign off. This is that raised garden bed that I put together. And this is not where it's going to be. I'm going to find a place for it, but I wanted to go ahead and drop seeds. So in here I missed my lettuce so much, you guys. Yes, I'm growing lettuce again. That one is called Summertime, and that one is more butter crunch. I like my butter crunch lettuce. So those are the seeds that I dropped in here just yesterday. Okay. So, and then I'm going to place it somewhere nice. Look, let me show you my lemons real quick. I'm actually growing lemons, you guys. You see that? These little plants, remember I showed you these plants? I've had these for a while. Look how nice and green and healthy they are. If you go back and look at the videos, you'll see when I brought these home. I was all excited. I'm growing lemons, y'all. Yep. And I fed these too, along with the other citrus plants. I made sure that these were fed also. Let me show you something. Let me share this with you. These two ivies I thought had died out after the snow event we had, that cold weather event. Yes, snow in Louisiana. Yes, and I thought they had died, but guess what? They're coming back, just as strong as ever. So I'm just nurturing them, continuing to water and feed them. Look how pretty and green. I, those two plants in these urns, right, was sitting right at the edge of my picnic table, which I moved. My picnic table is normally right here. Uh, I had them there because I was just going to dump them. I thought these plants had died out. And then suddenly I noticed green and that they were growing back. So since they decided to fight and come back, I said, I'm going to help you. So I've been babying these little ivies and helping them come back. All right. Okay, you guys. You didn't think I was going to leave those strawberries behind, huh? Oh, no. They're coming off. So let me grab these strawberries. More strawberries. Let's see. Look, in here with my petunia. Can you believe that? That is a kick. Let's see what I got. What you got, Josh? Okay, I'm coming. See, I told you old Josh is here with me. So he's going to keep me busy. I actually wanted to go inside, but Josh wanted to stay out. So here I am. The ones that are big enough and they're starting to turn red, they will continue to ripen off the vine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those too. I think I see another one that's ready. This is a good one. It's so small. Well, they're not going to get any bigger. They say once they start turning red, they're not going to get any bigger. So you don't have to leave them on there saying, oh, it'll get bigger. No. Once they start turning red, that's the size it's going to be. But they'll just continue to ripen on the while it's on the little vine here. But they'll also ripen off the vine. So I'm going to go ahead and take these now. Okay? All right. And there we have it, y'all. My strawberries and blueberries. Pretty much that's going to be my harvest for today. That's pretty good, though.